What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla stock and the overall market. I'm also going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar and why Tesla saw a very explosive move to the upside after the market closed. So I'm going to break down all this information and break down how the trends are looking, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But let me first say that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Weeble and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. And deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75. So what happened to Tesla? What is going on with the share price? So in the beginning, we had some bad news that came out. Tesla announced that they're going to be cutting prices for their excessive inventory. So what that means is when Tesla produced their cars, they produced over 40,000 more cars than what they ended up delivering during Q1. So Tesla has excessive inventory. They have a bunch of SUVs just sitting around. So Tesla's trying to get rid of them. And what are they going to do? They're going to be cutting prices by $4,000 to $7,000. That is very, very concerning because investors are worried that that's going to lead to lots of, they're feeding into their margins. They're not going to get, much profits off of them. Not the best of news for Tesla. So when Tesla made that announcement, we saw the share price gap down, and then we saw Tesla continue to remain weak. And then we got more downgrades from different analysts saying Tesla will fall to 113 a share and etc., cutting their price targets overall. That was bad news. That's why Tesla ended up selling off today and looking kind of weak compared to the markets. But then there was also news that came out from Reuters that Tesla was basically not going to be continuing with the plans for their new affordable model. Things have changed with that though, because Elon Musk accused them of lying. So that didn't really cause much. I think we got a little pop when that news came out, then just continued to come back down. But it's kind of stuck at this low level, or at least it was stuck by the time we closed. And then all of a sudden the market closes. And then Tesla gets an explosive move to the upside all the way back to about 173 a share. It's currently at 171.5. It's up over 4%. Why did Tesla get a big bounce in the after hours? Here's the answer. We have a big announcement. Elon Musk is saying that Tesla is going to unveil its Robo taxi on August 8th. The shares have popped as a result of that. And that is some very, very big news. So why is this very, very important? The important thing about this is the fact that we've been waiting for the Robo taxi for many, many years. And now on August 8th, we have an official date that Musk is saying that they're going to unveil the product. Musk has spoken about the Robo taxi project for years, and it could represent a major new business for the car maker as investors grow wary of the company as the period of growth is slowing a bit. They also mentioned that, when Reuters came out and they said that Tesla had plans for Tesla's plans for the highly anticipated low-cost car model have been scrapped. Musk accused them of lying, and then he came out with this big tweet after that. Now, this is going to be very, very important. Right now, we're looking at FSD options. They are quite expensive for a lot of people out there, and we're going to be watching to see what's the difference with the Robo taxi, what capabilities it has. I'm very excited to see what the product ends up giving us. So it's going to be very exciting, very, very interesting. This is the official tweet from Elon Musk right over here. The Tesla Robotaxi unveil on 8/8. Very, very interesting stuff. So I can't wait to see what this holds. Tesla will most likely gap up on Monday, and we'll see what Tesla does from there. Does it come back down or not? But regardless of what happens, Tesla's looking pretty decent right here. We'll see how well it holds up, but I am anticipating a nice gap up, and then we'll see what it does in reaction to that. But this is very exciting news. I can't wait to see what happens with that. Now, for the broader markets, we have more data coming. I want to talk about this real quick before I break down the share prices. I wanted to note that right here, we have more data coming out that's going to be very important. Starting on Monday, okay? For Monday, we have some data. It's not going to be that insane. We just have consumer inflationary expectations and then a bunch of bill auctions coming out for Monday. Going into Tuesday, we have something very, very similar. We have economic optimism reports and also the bill auctions coming out. Very, very minor data as well. But for Wednesday, we have CPI coming out and a bunch of Fed speakers. CPI is going to be very important as it's expected to be a little bit hotter than expectations. Or I'm sorry, it's expected to be a little bit hotter than before. So that's going to be important. For Thursday, we have PPI data coming out. That's expected to be hot as well. This is the producer price index. It's like CPI on the producer side. That's important. And then for Friday, the data is a little bit more minor as we just have Michigan consumer sentiments data and a couple of Fed speakers. But I do want to note that we have some important earnings coming out. Most of the earnings for the week are going to be minor, but on that Friday, we have JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citi, and Progressive. We have lots of big bank earnings coming out for Friday, so that's going to be very important too. So we'll see how all of this ends up affecting us. We'll see where Tesla ends up opening on Monday, but I do anticipate a potential gap up like move is a real possibility as Tesla is once again at this key level. So watch this support right here at this 170 area. We'll see if Tesla holds this, and we could be looking for another push higher if we end up doing so. For SPY, even though SPY is trying to push right here, we were kind of stuck between resistance and supply. Watch 520 to 518 is a resistance zone, and we have support right here around 517.5 and 516.5. Whichever way we break will determine the much bigger move. Overall, SPY is trying to push, but despite that happening, there is a downtrend on SPY on the much bigger picture. Because if you look at the all-time high since we hit that a couple of days ago, it came down, hit this high again, came down, made a lower high, and it's continuing to sink right here. So is SPY about to continue to downtrend? Could it pop a little bit more and then make its way down lower? It's a real possibility, so just be careful. Same thing with the QQQ. Last couple of weeks, it's been just trading sideways in this range, and simultaneously, it's been downtrending for quite some time. We had this high right here back in March, came down, made a lower high, came down, made a lower high, came down, made a lower high. So, could we pop again a little higher to this imbalance and then come back down, or do we continue to sink? That's what I kind of anticipate in this range. That's what it's been doing as we're approaching supply. So, watch and see what happens once we approach 440 to 442 on the QQQ. If that breaks, watch 446. If we reject off that, there's likely going to be some downside coming, but I think that either 444 might be it or 442. This range might be retested and move back down. It's a real possibility. For a couple of other factors out there, we have Nvda. Nvidia, in my opinion, is trying to push just a little bit. We're going to be looking at resistance though. And let me also note that we have a very, very interesting trend right here. So we have resistance around 883 and we have support at 877. We're kind of stuck in between. We'll see which way it breaks, but the chart does have potential to push a little bit higher towards 885. Now we could push a bit more on Nvidia, but watch resistance. We'll see if we get a rejection because the overall trend is still bearish, because when you zoom out, we've been making lower highs and lower lows consistently. So are we about to come up a little bit more to test our trend line, then come back down? Or are we about to sink? We'll be watching for that very, very carefully. And finally, we have Aapl stock. Aapl is very boring. It's been stuck between 169 and 170. If it breaks 170, it can push higher. If it loses 169, it can sink lower. And we're kind of stuck, so we might remain kind of range bound for now until we see which direction breaks. But that is it for the charts, at least for the time being. So with that being said, I want to conclude the video from here and just say that Tesla has some potential to push a bit higher. We have to see where we open, and if Tesla gaps up and if we hold 170, I could see another push coming on Tesla, at least temporarily, amidst all the hype about the Robo taxi. And this could actually lead to a continuation going into Monday. So we'll have to see how things go. I see potential in the charts. I'm very, very excited about this, and we'll have to see how things go, at least moving forward. But with that being said, guys, I just want to thank you all so much for listening. Please enjoy the weekend. I know it's a nice weekend that's coming up, so do what you have to do and take care. And I will most definitely see you guys tomorrow in another very, very quick update. But with that being said, take care. Thank you all so much for listening. Tesla to the moon, because the long term is very bright alongside for the whole market. Despite what you see in the short term, the long term is still very bright. Remain optimistic, be positive, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you for listening, and peace out.